Alright, back in the garage tonight. It's Friday. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do part 3 here now on the passenger side 51 Ford inner and outer lower door panel and inner panel. Since you guys were gone, I wanted to do a little bit of grinding work here and some finishing work so you guys could see how the A-pillar is going to look almost when it's pretty much done. I still got some more, grinding and some sanding with the DA. I'm going to take 40 and work it up to either 40 or 80 grit, and then do all my body work and everything once all of our metal work is done. So I did that, and while I was grinding and everything and had the door off, I noticed that they replaced this whole rocker panel on the passenger side here. And it looks like coming up towards the A-pillar and the firewall area where the hinges meet, it looks like it's up like a quarter of an inch. So that might not be good. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna put this door up here now, and then I wanna actually, once the door's up there and if we're liking it, then we're gonna put the old metal on. I got some magnets here that'll help us out with that. So let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Like we're sticking out on the bottom here. I'm gonna start positioning the door where I think it needs to be, and then we'll check the hinges and everything and see what we got. I'm noticing that everything on the bottom that we did is flush, but we got the door's coming out here about a quarter of an inch out. Let's hang the old metal on it, put the magnets on it. I'm going to try to position it exactly where we want it. And then I'm going to, look at everything, and if I like it, I'm going to bring you guys off of the stand here, and we're going to do a close look at what we got going. So I'm going to take these magnets, I'm going to take the old metal here, and I'm going to give you guys a close-up of the old metal. So, on the old outer skin, if you look, you got a lip that comes up and over the inner framework of the door. And that's what really holds the whole outer panel in place. So here we go. Let's put this on. Try to do is I want to actually hammer this a little bit so it's easier to put into place. So let me give this a couple whacks here with a hammer just to get a good amount of spacing on it so it doesn't interfere with what we're doing. Okay. Knock that out a little bit. That's a big reason why we replaced this. As I showed you last time, it was in a really good hit on this area. And when I bring you guys over here, you'll be able to see what all I worked out already on the door. Okay, here we go. Panel under work the panel into place. Right there, should go over. I think that'll show us everything we need to see. Alright, now that we got the outer old panel on, I'm going to try to position it a little better, and then I'm going to bring you guys over here so you guys can see. See if I can we got to remember that we don't have the hinges in yet, so this isn't the proper the way it's going to look once we're totally done here. Fit it up. So if we do like what we like, what's going on here, we're going to end up taking the upper hinge, I'm going to bolt that in, and then that'll give us our spacing here to see really how the door's going to fit once everything's together. And then if we like that, then I'm going to cut away the metal that's down here, put a new plate for the hinge, and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do still here is I'm going to try to get it as lined up as I can. There's some space down here. Alright, we're pretty much into position. When we get these hinges up, this door is going to come up a little bit. You can see from this metalwork here. Alright, so let me grab you guys off this tripod here, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to do this really gradually. Okay. So here's the magnets, and here's our door. Now if you could see, all right here, from here, all the way down, this was all pushed inward. And it got a front hit on this side, and it looks like a glancing blow, where then after it hit, it kept coming down the side of it, and it made that whole mark there all the way to about here. It dies off, and up here on the piece of the door, outer door that we're saving, you could see there's another blow that it took on the side, and it goes all the way here. So if you look at the fitment on the door, we're very tight on this seam. Everything's touching on this side, and that's because we don't have our hinge in. But our existing metal from what we took off and what we have still is looking really nice. It's all square, and even on the bottom, we got a pretty good gap. That's like a 1/2 inch gap there, and as we go up, it gets littler of a gap into nothing. So I think once we get the hinge on, we're gonna be able to. The door's gonna come up, and it's gonna meet this almost. So that'll give us a almost quarter-inch gap on the bottom. And from picking this side up, it's gonna lower this side. Because we could tell that this door on top is higher than it was. I'm gonna show you guys another thing. And so if we look down the side, you can see our new inner, which we'll shave down a little bit, and then we'll put our new outer on over it. But it's looking real. Let's see if we can get it. Right there. Real straight. I think we could keep going here. I think this will do. It's gonna look nice. And in the future here, you know, we might end up taking the whole lower body and making more metal and doing a type of if you guys ever seen this Kaiser that was built, he did a whole bunch of metal work on the bottom of the car to make the bottom of the car look bigger than what it originally was, which we might do on this. I'm not sure yet, so we'll find out later. So this is the A-pillar. This is the metal work here, and it goes up and it goes back and it follows that profile. See how nice that profile looks on there? Let's get that back. And this fender here was all rust, and I'm slowly getting it back to metal. I had to do a patch on the lower, and I had a whole bunch of film work on it, but you know, it was all right here, and it goes all the way down and right up against this lip. So let's continue here. I'll put you guys back up on the old tripod. I think. Okay. There we go. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to take the door back off. We're going to try to put the hinge together and see if we can get it swinging open. Just one hinge. The door might be too heavy for just doing one hinge. Plus, with this door being hit, the hinge got separated. And I've been working that hinge and hitting that hinge back in. I'll take the hinge off and I'll bring it onto my vise, and I'll vise it together and it clamp it back in, which is giving us almost our true spacing right now. So I'm going to take the lower metal off again. We're not going to be using that anyway. Put this to the side in case. Now, we're going to try to put this hinge together and get this door really where it's supposed to be. At least close. So, first thing I want to do is we'll get the bolts ready. Get the door off. Put that over here for now. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to pull this front clip forward so I got space to get my fingers and the tool to this top hinge. So I'm going to pull this out. there should be okay. If I need any more, I'll just bring it back more. Or I can just lift it up, whatever need be. So I want to check my bolts here and the nuts, and I want to make sure that I can hand tighten these so I don't have any snags when I'm putting them together. It's always a good rule of thumb to check your hardware so you don't run into, like a cross tread problem or something not working out. It's always good to eliminate everything you can. Okay, we got two good ones for the outer two. And the hinge accepts 4 bolts and nuts. So count 2 more. One barely wants to go on. But the more you twist it on there and you back her off, and it'll work out. But I think we're going to use another one here. Then gonna need a little work. Alright. That one I like. So as far as I know, this is the stock hardware. This is the stock hinges, everything like that from 51. So these, you can tell, these have some play. And I think I'm going to end up either ordering some new ones, or I can try to fix the existing. About 3/16 off. She's going to have a 3/16 sag to her. So we have to remember that. Alright, so now that we have our hardware ready, we're going to mount our door. Have out here is I have a 1/2 inch ratchet and a 1/2 inch wrench. Put those out there. Now we're going to put these two that are real nice, and do it by hand, tighten them up by hand, loosen them by hand. These are going to be the ones that are going to go on the outer hinge. What we're going to do, we're going to put these 2 screws on the outer hinge, and then as long as that hinge is closed, they can't come out. So now we'll take this door and we'll put it on, and then we'll tighten 2 nuts onto the bolts that are on the hinge. Latch that. There we go. So we have a fail-safe in case this door wants to come off of here. It can't. So now I'm going to take my nuts. I'm going to put my nuts on the bolts. tighten them a little bit, but we're not going to tighten them all the way because we want to get this door more into position. So I'm only going to give them a little so this so it really stays in place, but it's still kind of loose. Now I'm holding the bolt with my finger and I'm tightening the nut up while I'm holding the bolt with my finger so the bolt doesn't walk while you're tightening up that nut. Alright, now I can tell that I have more room to go. Before it's tight. So I want to get all that slop out of it. Same thing with the load. Starting to walk into place here. Now that we got the two outers, we're going to open up this door and we're going to put the two inners in. Now I might have to use my jack here, but we're going to try to do it without. So let's see what happens. Very flimsy right now. Alright. Now I can get the bolts in. I'm going to try to get the bolts in one hand here and hold the door with my right hand. It's always better with two guys, but you gotta know how to do things alone too. Just wait for people to come around and help. You're gonna be waiting for a long time. And I don't have time to wait. So I just try to figure out ways to do everything on my own. So we got one in. And if I get that other one in, I'm thinking I could reverse the process. Crawl in the car from the driver's side and get the nuts on, just like I did the outer. And then once everything's kind of situated and almost in place, alright, got those two on. We're going to try to close this. I'm going to go in there and we're going to tighten those two other bolts. Try to get this a little more. Alright. Best way to walk around here. I'm going to put these two nuts on here. Alright, now that we got those two nuts started, I'm going to open up the door and I'm going to try to get my jack out here. And we'll get the jack set up, we'll get a piece of wood on it so then we can kind of get this thing into the exact position. It's a nice trick here. So what you do, take your jack, put it under the door in the middle. You take a piece of wood that's so far, like this is a nice sized piece of wood. It almost covers the whole distance of the door, so it distributes the weight throughout the door. So we'll use this and this. We'll position it. Then we're going to bring the door open. And I'm going to put this door on this jack. So, well, I'll move this up a little bit. Try to get this jack exactly in the middle, or as good as you can. Position, and there we have it. Now, I'm going to slowly walk the dog forward. Try to open it enough to where I can get to the hardware and tighten it up. I'm going to take a screwdriver here, flathead. I'm going to start tightening up these two inners. Got my handy dandy wrench here. Alright, now we're going to tighten them up. Now I'm not going to tighten them up all the way because we're going to try to get this as best we can into position, so we can really see what we got going on here. Alright, now that it's getting some tension on these inners. Now I'm going to go on the outers. I'm going to try to give it a little more here. If we can get our two of them. Just enough for the top one. Now I know, if I remember, the door wanted to come in. So this hinge wants to be all the way in. So we're going to do that. Try to get this as far in as we can. And then we're going to tighten the two out while the door is shut. So we get perfect positioning, and then we'll open it, and then we'll be able to tighten the inners. So now that we got that, now we can reclose it. It's already got some good tension too. All right. almost totally tight. I'm gonna check out the profile of the door on the bottom and on just the whole profile, and I'm gonna try to get it exactly in the position before I give it that final tightness on the two outer bolts. We got the two outers pretty much tightened up. We're going to reopen this door, and I'm going to do the two inners. So, see that position of that door. I'm going to try to position it where I think it needs to go. I think it's good right there. So we're going to tighten the inners. Now we got those tight. We'll shove real quick. And we'll check what we're doing. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let me grab a tool. Alright. Now we got this door in place. We're starting to get our gap back over here, which is awesome. Great to hear and great to see. what I want to do now is I want to take this whole front clip and I'm going to push it back into place to see exactly our gap on the fender to the door. So that's naturally where she wants to sit. And that's the fender. So, the next thing I would like to do is simulate a hinge being in that place. And a way to do that is to take a clamp and clamp where that hinge used to be. And if you clamp it in place, it'll take the new metal that we have and it'll butt it up to the existing hinge plate. So we might do that to get a better look to see where our lower hinge wants to be, and then we might do the inner framework and the inner framework to the hinge. So we'll find that out soon. So I'm gonna get a clamp and let's check it out. This one might do. Our hinge is right here, but I don't want to. See, I want to really get a flat one for here, so then we can still do our spacing for our front fender. Might be this one, because this has got a really nice low profile to it on the front. Well, let's see if that works. Okay. That made me move. So, let's see how we look out here. See, now we got more of a gap on the bottom than we do on the top. 'Cause I brought this in. So let's bring it out a little. Right there, right when it starts to have tension. Alright, now what I'm doing, I'm just playing with this door to see if I can get it as perfect as possible. Because that is the name of the game here. And the more you mess with it, the more you'll be able to massage it in place and know where you need to be. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. So, I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you notice, when I put this profile of the door where she wants to be, the top of this door wants to go up. Now the reason for that is because when they put that rocker in, that rocker's doing a wheelie now. So I might either have to compensate for that on the door or recut that rocker and bring that rocker down so we can fit this properly. I think we're gonna end up bringing the rocker down. But let's rocker's got good spacing to it, but I just think that for some reason it's high. We got space until we hit a certain point. So there's something in here. It could be my lower patch panel. It could be that this side down here is a little too low. Let me see if I can't give this a little finesse here. Pull that up a little. See if that helps. Where that wants to be. That's where my paint wants to sit. What I'm doing is I'm giving it some pushes on this hinge to see if I can't get this hinge a little more in. Because it seems like this whole door here is a little out. And when I was doing work, I noticed, which when I get this door back off and I get it on stand, I'm going to show you guys. This whole part of this lip on this outer skin is actually coming off of the hinge area. So I'm thinking that the metal that's on there, all that needs to be replaced. So that rocker in. It's in. And it's up on the front here. Because the fender wants to sit out. The fender wants to sit about 1/4 of an inch out. On the back it's fine. So really this rocker needs to be cut and moved out 1/4 of an inch. Out, and I believe down. See, my brain's reeling right now because I'm trying to figure out the best way to get around it without doing as minimal amount of work as we can and still make it, still be able to do it correctly, but you know, in a different way. So let's ponder this for a second. Let's get the old metal on. I want to take the dents that are out of it so it fits up better, and I want to check to see what the outer skin looks like. And that'll give me a proper that'll give me more of an idea of what we need to do. All right, dolly hammer. Gonna give this a little bit where it was buckled up. We'll start up here. Alright. Got that one out. Now we're going to do the bottom. Now with me doing this could change how the skin matches up, but here we go. I think that'll do. So, I got a little bit here I can fix too. Might as well. So we get the proper look here. There we go. Okay. Now with all of our lows knocked out, everything's back into position for the most part. Now we're going to put our outer skin on, take our magnets, check to see how it looks with that hinge attached. And you got to remember again, that hinge has like a 3/16 play to it. So that's another thing that we got to remember and put into the equation. So this is all level. This is where this door wants to be, up here. We're still real tight on this gap. And that's still because when this car got hit, it pushed everything back. Alright, bring this back. We got some more room. I'm gonna grab a couple more magnets. Some smaller little magnets here I've found and I've had for a while. I put these on here and it helps. Okay. My flathead out here, I want to get the profile of the back of this door perfectly even with the quarter panel. So everything's flush on the back. Because we got to work off at one point. Okay. So far what we have is doors on, got the door hung, got the hinge tight, bottom's freewheeling out, and we are sitting out about out about a half inch from everywhere. And it comes all the way down to a quarter of an inch on the back corner here. So we're still inward. Okay, we got our bottom panel